Hey there folks, Razumafu here, coming at you with another YouTube video. Today, we embark on a new series known as What Do I Think Of? What I Think Of, or Wito, is basically me showing my perspective of certain shows and movies. I just want to talk about these things that I love or hate, and what better place to do that than the internet. So, Wito is a series that I've actually wanted to do for a while, as I have always been interested in movies, TV, how people perceive them. Especially in the last year, I've watched a lot of anime, and one of the shows I recently watched with a friend was Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is a beautiful show with lots of powerful characters who feed off each other in interesting and complex ways. So today I wanted to talk to you about how this show has impacted me, and how I think it is worthy of its top 10 spot in my anime ranking. P.S. If you want to see my anime list, I will do a video on that. Spoilers for Vinland Saga Season 1, Code Geass, and that is it. Just those two, I think. Yeah. The COVID outbreak occurs. I go home for the second half of my sophomore year of college. I watch Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time. Hunter x Hunter. I watch it. The anime juices are flowing. I try Vinland Saga. Didn't get through the first 3 episodes. Time passes, and I watch almost 50 shows, animes mostly, over the course of the year. Sometime in November, I finally give Vinland Saga another try. At this point, it had been on and off the watch list multiple times. I was beginning to think I may never watch this show, despite its reputation and my desire to watch something Viking-related. I get to the point in episode 4 when Thors is killed, and I broke. I watched the rest of the show in less than 36 hours, and I had never been compelled to watch something so fast. A year rolls by. Come September 2021, my buddy wants to watch Full Metal Alchemist. I say no. I don't know if I'll ever watch that show, to be honest. We come to the agreement to watch Vinland Saga instead, and I'm really excited. It's so good, dude, I say many times over the course of our 2-week watching. Halfway through, I began to write this script about Wito Vinland Saga, and it seems like a fun new idea for the channel. Wito is born from this show because, holy crap, not only can... Jesus Christ, dude, this is cringe. Ugh. Not only can this show make you want to learn everything about its characters, but it actually teaches you about the characters in a way that doesn't bog down the pacing. So, what do I think of Vinland Saga? Sit back and I'll tell you the tale. It's What Do I Think Of? I don't think Torfin is good, in general. And I know right off the bat this is a bold statement, so just take a second and listen. Just hear me out, alright? From what I could tell going into the show, everybody had this big idea that Thorfinn was the greatest, and they loved him. He's up there with the best, like Lelouch. P.S. I'll get to Lelouch later, but for now just know that they're not even close, okay? Thorfinn lived a happy, undisturbed life in Iceland for 6 years. He was supported and loved by not only his family, but his community. The only issue is his community is Vikings. His father is Thors. Torfin is brought up by 2 conflicting worldviews, the Vikings and his friends, and his family, specifically his father. The Vikings, even being refugees in Iceland, are still all about war and getting to Valhalla, dying in battle. While Thors has seen real war and the horrors of it, and decided to put down the sword for good, in search of Vinland. Thors tells his son important lessons, like no one has enemies, and use that knife only when you really need it. These two things are part of Thor's wish for Torfin, alongside going to Vinland with his family and living the good life. Once Thors is killed, however, you can watch all the good Thors did for Torfin disappear. Disappear. After this point, whenever Thorfinn is faced with a choice to return back to his home or kill Ashalad, he will always choose to kill Ashalad. Thorfinn is given free rein to live his life, and instead he chooses to basically be a slave to the man who killed his father. Thorfinn becomes this brooding, mean teenager who expressly goes against his father's wishes, killing people unprovoked with the knife and making enemies and telling other people that he is their enemy. It's honestly sad that in 4 episodes the main character is done growing, and the final result is an annoyance to the real main character of the show, Ashalad. Ashalad, aka Ashalad, is the best character in the show. He does well at the beginning to make you hate him at first, but eventually, as you come to understand him, he becomes a better version of Torfin. He was the original, I suppose. The OG. Let's run through their stories together. They both lose a parent, either to death or mania, sickness. Both of their parents have a wish for their child and a way that they want them to live out their life. They both have a vision, their own vision of revenge against the person whose fault it is that their parent is dead. They both live with the person they want to kill, and they both have opportunities to follow through with their plans. Here is where their differences make all the difference. Love that one. Nice one, Joshua. Ashalad actually kills his father in his sleep. Torfin does not kill Ashalad in his sleep. Now, right off the bat, you might think that this is a point for Torfin. He is a better, more honorable warrior. The reality is, Ashalad is able to move on afterwards. He has plans for what to do next. Killing Olaf was never his prime objective. His mother had an idea for Ashalad, and Ashalad wanted to honor his parents and go along with her request. Torfin fails to kill his subject of revenge, and thus grows up with only one thing that he ever hopes to accomplish. Now, it's true that going to Vinland may not be as powerful a message as saving the people of Wales, as you are the rightful heir to the throne. But it's still the wish of his dying father that Torfin would get to live in Vinland. So in the end, when Ashalad is dying, he finally asks Torfin what his plans are after he's dead. Torfin has no idea. He hasn't thought about anything else besides killing Ashalad, so once he's dead, he's essentially lost himself. This is the main idea. Torfin, whether by design or not, is a simple one-note character that fails to redeem himself over and over, while Ashalad gets everything he wants. In the final episode, Ashalad pulls a Lelouch, I told you we'd get to it, and sacrifices himself in order to finalize his own aspirations. He knows that all the work he has put in over the last 30, 40 years was enough, that it can go through without him at the helm. That's how good he was. He's able to die and still win. Finally, I'd like to briefly bring up the Armin of it all, Knut. Knut's a great time, man. He comes into the show as this scared little wimp, who's kind of cute, not gonna lie, and becomes a literal king by the end of the first season. Knut is the hope and shining star of the show. He's the best of us, one could say. Knut is not really the scared wimp he appears to be. He's simply a cautious observer. Ashalad knows this, and it's very expressly said in the show that Ashalad is like, I'm going to kill Ragnar, and it's going to result in Knut's maturing. So once Ragnar is killed and that shield is removed, he becomes a tad more open to seeing the world as it is and not how he thinks it should be. Furthermore, his conversation with the priest, Billibard, Hildebrand, whatever, that truly enlightens him to his purpose. He now understands what he should say, how he should say it, when he should say it, and who he should say it to. Knut believed that God loved everything and that his creation was proof of that. However, he comes to believe that God is simply a passive observer, not unlike himself, and that his love is forfeit because of it. Knut goes further to say that God put his love into everything but the humans, so then he must create love in humans himself. Knut now has his purpose. He is Vinland, or at least a representative of it. In whatever form it takes across the show's run, whether it be a land in the far west, the place where Artorius rests to heal his wounds, Valhalla, or heaven itself, Knut is the hope that this place, far from slavery and disease and war, will come into reality. And in similar fashion to Ashallad's final act, Knut is willing to become a demon to see it come to reality, even if he's not alive. All in all, Vinland Saga is a great show full of great characters, and these are just a few that I really like. Torfin is still cool, swinging around his knives, and Thorkell is the literal embodiment of chaos. But the real show is about Knut and Ashalad, the ones that actually pursue change through action, and are willing to die in the hopes that their ideals will come to fruition. P.S. The music in the show is also really good, and I could do an entire video just on the soundtrack alone, so you should definitely check out Yutaka Yamada's work. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, because I had a lot of fun putting this all together and actually writing a script and working hard on something over the course of multiple days, instead of just playing a game and cutting up the footage a little bit. So, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.